So in front of me, I have the quantum and a list of frequencies for 12-tone equal temperament, 3-limit tuning, and 5-limit tuning. The quantum is tuned, so all 3 octaves here are the same octave in different tunings. So here is equal temperament. Here is 3-limit, and here is 5-limit. So you might notice right away that those triads sound very different. The 5-limit triad, because our 3rd and our 5th are both derived from the overtone series, it's very stable. You hear almost no beating. Our 3-limit is not as pleasant because our 3rd here is tuned based on a stack of 5ths, so it ends up being very sharp. The equal temperament 3rd is in between these two, so it kind of mitigates that a little bit, but our 5th isn't as rock solid as these two, because these two are just overtone based. In fact, these are actually the same. They're identical in the 5ths. But you can hear the difference in the 3rds. So just as a fun experiment, let's take... This is a sawtooth, and then it's fixed, so it won't move as we move up the keyboard. So now we can compare different notes directly to the overtones of the sawtooth wave. So here's those 3rds again. Very nice. Here's the 3-limit. You can hear it doesn't sit into the note like this does. Same case, but not as extreme as this. So let's try 5ths. Those are the same, and it's very pleasant. So in 5-limit, our C is extremely sharp. Let's compare that to equal temperament. And then let's compare it to 3-limit. It's even further from the 3-limit. But our E's, since they're the 5th, they're actually pretty close. So let's try to do a C major triad. This is going to be unpleasant at best. Ah! And then in equal temperament, it still doesn't sound great, but it sounds the same as every other triad. Whereas here we have this really pleasant triad for the tonic, and then we go up to the minor 3rd, and it's just terrible. So you can see that none of these are perfect tunings. This has really the worst flat 3rd I've ever heard. This is not much better. But here, our bass triad, our tonic triad, just doesn't really sound that great. So in equal temperament, we gain consistency. Every note is an equal distance apart, but we lose this rock solid tonic triad, which is really something. So just before we close out, let's just hear all the combinations together. So here's the A. Those are identical. A sharp. So there we have so now B, we have, these are all pretty much spot on. So C, this is where we get some crazy discrepancies. Our 5-limit is just so sharp. And then our 3-limit is flat. So now C sharp, we have a very flat 5 limit and a pretty sharp 3 limit. And then in the middle, equal temperament. So for our fourth, both are a little flat compared to equal temperament, but it's not that major. It's only 2 cents. For the tritone, we derived multiple values, so we're not going to use that. These are all equal for now. Here we have slight sharpness in the fifth compared to equal temperament, but it's derived directly from the ratio, so it's rock solid. So F, we have very flat 3 limit, very sharp 5 limit. F sharp, we've got a sharp 3 limit and a flat, very flat 5 limit. G, we've got both are flat, but by only 4 cents, so it's not too bad. And then we got G sharp, we have a very sharp 3 limit, pretty flat 5 limit. And then we're back at the octave. Those are all the same. So just one more time to close us out, let's hear that amazing 5 limit triad. It's even at the octave above it. That's amazing.